Hey guys, welcome to the our next Facebook cover. Next awesome Facebook cover, who should be the number nine Facebook cover, and we already created a new file. Let's take the guideline from the top bar and from the sidebar and snap it to in the middle, in the center, and let's take the rectangular shape from the toolbox and let's drag a shape and let's make the border color to white and 6 pixel, and the filling color is would be the gray color. And now let's transform this shape by pressing Ctrl or Command T and make the both corner with matching with the guideline in our middle guideline. Let's select the move tool and move it a little bit left side, and let's copy this shape by dragging to the layer panel, the create new panel, and we would have a duplicate copy. Let's make the another copy and select the move tool and move this duplicate layer. Let's make the another copy and select the move tool in order to move it to rightward, and now we have these four different shapes. Select all of this and let's move it to right hand side and make it a groove. Select by selecting all of this shape and click Ctrl or Command J from the keyboard, and it would be a groove, and rename it as a shape. Let's take the Ctrl and Command T in order to transform this whole group and make it a little bit bigger and reposition it by selecting move tool. Let's take the background image from the image folder and convert it to smart object, and let's reposition it. Transform it by pressing Ctrl or Command T from the keyboard. Let's make it a little bit smaller, and make sure while you're doing this you have selected this shape group. Now let's select the rectangle 1 and bring a image from the image folder. Convert it to the smart object and bring this image to the our main document, and let's create clipping mask by clicking the mouse right button, and let's resize it by pressing Ctrl or Command T. While you are resizing, make sure that you have press Alt and Shift key all together in order to have the same proportional height and weight. Let's bring the another image from the image folder, and let's convert this image to smart object, and let's drag and drop this image to our main document, and make sure that this image is the above of the rectangular 1 copy 3, and make a create clipping mask. Let's resize it by pressing Ctrl or Command T, and make OK. Now let's bring the another image from the image folder, convert it to the smart object, and drag and drop it to our main document, and make sure this image layer will be the top of the rectangle 1 copy, and transform it by pressing Ctrl or Command T from the keyboard, And while you resizing the image, make sure that you have selected the Alt and Shift key all together. Press Alt and Shift all together in order to have a proportional height and width of the image. Let's reposition it and click OK in order to accept this modification. Let's bring our last image from the image folder, convert it to a smart object and drag and drop it to our main document. And make sure this image layer would be the top of the rectangle 1 shape, and make the create clipping mask as usual, and make command or control T in order to transform the image as usual. And let's reposition the image. While you're doing the transformation, make sure you have hold Shift and Alt key all together in order to have a same proportional width and height. So make sure that you have selected rectangular 1, and from the bottom of the layer panel, select the layer style. From there, outer glow, select the cyan color. In the color, select the color cyan color, and from there opacity 100, mode is screen, blending mode is screen. And let's select the inner glow. It would be the same. Select from the color the cyan color, size would be the 21. And let's see how it affected the border of the image of the left one. So we have now the inner glow and outer glow. Let's increase the size of the outer glow to 18, and inner glow size would be to 18 as well. Click OK in order to accept this. And now click the mouse right button and select copy layer style. Now let's paste all of this layer style to other three rectangular shape layer. So we have pasted all the layer style to all the other rectangular shape. Now let's make another copy of this shape group. So we have now the two different duplicate copy. Let's make the another copy of this shape group, and let's press Ctrl and Command T while selecting the shape copy group and make it a smaller size, and click OK in order to accept this. And let's decrease the opacity to 22, make it to 20, opacity to 20 for our shape copy group. And let's make it another copy and bring that duplicate group to bottom line. And let's select our background layer and create new layer. Select the create new layer from the bottom line of the layer panel, and let's from the edit fill and select the pattern. Select a pattern and click OK, and let's make the opacity to 5% of that pattern. And let's click the T key from the keyboard, or select the T from the toolbox in order to write the text and write my photography. Let's increase the size of this text, and let's change the style, the layer style. Let's take this one. Let's try the another one. Let's try this one, my photography, which is the match with the background image. And that's it for this Facebook cover number 9. So thank you for joining this lecture, and we'll see you in our next Facebook cover, which would be number 10.